Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly review Ratropolis. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about 15 bucks or so, though it is 30% off until January 5th, 2021. It's part of the Steam Winter Sale. So what is Ratropolis? Well, I covered this about a year ago. Back then it was early access. It recently came out of early access on December 22nd or so of this year. But Ratropolis is a fusion of a number of different things. You've got a roguelike element, tower defense, city building, and deck building. It's like a roguelike in the sense that you're going to go on runs over and over and over again, and with every new run, you're unlocking new content permanently. So it's like that. You've got a town defense / tower defense element to this, to where it's like Kingdom Two Crowns and Kingdom New Lands. It's a 2D map. And you've got walls on either side, and you're going to have waves coming at you every 30, 45 seconds, something like that. So that's where the tower defense element comes into play. You've got city building, which, again, you've got the city, and you're going to be constructing buildings and towers, and you're going to be extending those two walls that I was referring to earlier in order to make room for more buildings, houses, and the like. And then you've got deck building. It's like a deck building game in the sense, well, you've got different leaders in this game. You start with a merchant leader, and as you play, you unlock more leader types, and each leader has their own unique deck of cards. And like a deck builder, you typically draw 5 cards, you play these cards, each card has a cost in the upper left-hand corner, you play them, some of them will give you military units, some of them will, you play them for labor, meaning that it ties up your population or part of it, for, say, 30 seconds, 50 seconds, whatever. And at the end of that timer, you get 50 gold, 100 gold, something like that. Again, or you can use these cards to put buildings down. You can do a number of things with them. So you've got all of these different elements combined into one game. And overall, I do enjoy it. I'll get into the negatives in a little bit. But I like the fact that each game that you play will be, for the most part, different. Again, this being a deck builder and the ability to buy new cards as the game progresses. The game is played out over 30 waves, assuming you can get that far, and the waves get progressively harder as you go. But for every wave you survive, or every other wave or something like that, you'll be able to purchase cards and add more to your deck. But you have to watch your gold reserves because not only does it cost money to buy cards, but like I said, it also costs money to play these cards. So you have to kind of look at your income and go, okay, if I buy this card, realistically, can I play it? Will I have enough money to keep playing it every time it comes up? Because there's some cards in this game that are like, it costs 200 or 300 gold to buy it. And then to play it, it's like another 100. And I'm like, I'm not even making that much money. So realistically, as good as this card is, economically, it's not feasible. So you have to look at your options, look at the different card effects, and see if it's worth adding. A lot of these cards will chain off of each other. And you also have to pay attention to the order in which you play these cards, too. For example, there's a card that is like, okay, for every card that is left in your hand, when you play this card, you get plus 10 for every card left in your hand. So if it's the last card you play, you're not going to get any money for it. But if it's the first card you play, then you're going to get a lot of money for it. And if you manage to increase your hand size to, say, 7 or 8 cards, and then you play that card, you can get a lot of money out of that. There are some buildings that you can put down. I think it's like, I don't know, the library, or I don't know what it is, but it increases your hand limit. So you're going to be looking for ways to increase your hand limit with that particular card in your deck so that you can bring in more money more quickly and all at once. You do have population to worry about in this game. They're called radisons. And as you play military cards, or use your labor, you're going to be tying up your population. To get more radisons, you have to build more houses. And to put houses down, you have to extend your space, your build space. To do that, you need to extend your walls. There are these defensive wall cards you can put down to the left or to the right, and that expand your borders to where you can put down more buildings. Now, if the enemy happens to break down a wall and then they start destroying your buildings, if you manage to destroy that wave, you can rebuild those buildings, but it takes time and money to do so. But anyway, so yeah, there's buildings you can put down, there's military units you can put down to fend off these waves and to make your deck the best it could possibly be. And I love the fact that there are so many different combinations that you can create in this game. I think it all comes together very nicely. I like that there's different leaders with different styles. As you play a particular leader, you'll unlock new cards for them, and you'll gain experience points to fill up a bar. When that fills up, you unlock more cards just for that leader. So you could potentially play a leader for several hours without even seeing the other ones yet, and then go, okay, I've had my fill with this leader. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one, see if I like them better. Each leader has a special ability that they can activate every so often. You can upgrade their leader ability through various effects. There are advisors, which are passive bonuses. You can gain them. They're sort of like relics and roguelites that you might play where they're like permanent, or artifacts. They're permanent upgrades. And then there's these RNG events that pop up that can either hurt you or help you. All of that is really fun. As far as the negatives go, one, the developer recently reset all of the progress, which is kind of a kick in the you-know-where, because there are a lot of people that had a lot more things unlocked than I did. I have about 6 hours of playtime on this. And I went into this, I had like 4 leaders unlocked, and I'm back to 1 again, the merchant. So it's like, I gotta redo everything. And I can only imagine what the other people are feeling right now that everything's been reset. It's just unfortunate. This game is a grind. I have to warn you, it is very grindy. You're going to be unlocking a lot of stuff, and you have to spend a lot of time doing that. So to reset everything at launch, that sucked. It's a shame that couldn't be avoided somehow. I'm not a programmer, so I can't say if it could have been or not. That's annoying. Another thing, there is no casual difficulty mode. There is something called pollution in this game, where the more pollution on the map that you pick, the more difficult the game is. But even on the easiest difficulty setting, the game is still tough. Like, I've never beaten it, ever. In the 15 games that I've played, I've never beaten it. I've made it to wave 27 out of 30. There's a total of 30 waves, and if you can get past all of them, you win. If not, well, you still gain experience, just not as much. Supposedly there is an endless mode too, but other than that, there's 3 maps that you can choose, and each map has like a boon and a penalty, and you choose which map you want based on those boons and penalties. But yeah, anyway, this game has no casual difficulty setting, and for that reason, there's a lot of theory craft going around where you need to build this deck a certain way in order to ensure it's the most OP. To get past this map, or to ensure that you're passing this level or this map, you need to build your deck this way, and that's the best way to do it. You'll get the most bang for your buck. So it's like the game, even though the game gives you all these different ways to build your deck, because of the difficulty and the lack of a casual mode, it's almost forcing players to branch off into a certain strategy in order to ensure that they have a chance at winning. It's just unfortunate. Like, I want to play this game more often, but a more casual version of it. I want everything to stay the same feature-wise, but I want an easier difficulty mode to where it's not as difficult. That way I can unwind, have fun, try out different cool combinations, even if they're not the most practical. But no, this game seems to punish you for trying to try out things rather than the most efficient thing. You know what I mean? So that's my biggest complaint, is that there's no difficulty mode lower than what the minimum is. Even though it says pollution 0, I still can't beat that yet. So maybe I just haven't grinded enough to unlock the cards that I need in order to do that. But still, like, I wanted a more casual difficulty mode. The other issue is when you're you cannot select units, like split up units at a wall. Let's say you've got like 10 melee units and 10 ranged units at a wall. There's a button to move them all left and a button to move them all right, but you can't split them up. That's annoying. So, like, if you're trying to micromanage and I want 5 here, 10 here, no, you can't do that. Once units are combined onto one wall, I haven't figured out a way to move only part of that to wherever. Like, if the right side needs help and I'm losing on that side, I want to send some of my left side units over there, not all of them, but I have to do that. And then I have to spend time throwing all of my new units down on the left side to make up for the fact that I lost everything on the left side because I moved them to the right. You know what I mean? So there's no way to split up units easily in this game, if at all. And so the game does have its issues. That being said, I think I think the fact that it is a fusion of all the game genres that I like: city building, tower defense, deck building, roguelite, unlocking stuff. It's a combination of all these things, and I like it. I just wish it were more casual. That's my biggest complaint with it. And then again, the whole being able to select and split units to micromanage a bit more. I'd like that. But yeah, if this game had a more casual setting, I would be all over it more often. As it stands, this is a game I play every now and again, just to get my kicks, and then I unlock stuff, then I leave. But yeah, it's still fun though, and I do recommend it. But I have to warn you, it's this is a game that may frustrate you because it might be too hard for you. But some people are like, that doesn't bother me, bring it on. And then there are other people who are like, well, I want a casual experience, and this game doesn't offer that. So that kind of sucks. So it depends on what kind of person you are. So I don't want to like shy people away from it either. For 15 bucks, you're getting a lot of playtime out of this. The grind is real. I'm just letting you know. So yeah, I still recommend checking this out anyway. Steam does have that refund option. So my advice is, if you're a casual player, play it, like buy it, play it, and then if it's just too much or overwhelming for you, refund it. That's my best advice. It's a shame that there is no demo that I can see. It's just, yeah, it needs a demo. That way casual players can verify whether or not they actually want to pick it up. But it does have a lot of different play styles and a lot of different things to unlock, and for that reason, it's going to keep me coming back for more regardless of the difficulty, sort of like in Kingdom Two Crowns. That game is tough as well, no difficulty setting, but I keep coming back to it. Same way with this. So yeah, this is Ratropolis. Again, 15 bucks typically, 11 bucks or $10.50 during the Steam winter sale. If you guys haven't already, subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I'm going to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.